Welcome guys to this video. This is part 2 of my testimony. Last week I did part 1. Today is part 2. So I really hope you guys like this. So this is from the age of between 12 to 16 to when about I got saved. So yeah, let's get to it. So around about that age at 12, that's when I got introduced into console gaming. Got very into gaming, especially stuff like WWE, FIFA, GTA, a lot of violent video games as well that were mixed in there. And this took me away. I mean, it didn't help with my shyness because it made me more shy because I was more of, I wouldn't say I was a nerd, but I didn't want to talk to people a lot. So during the weekends, I'd just come home and just game. And on top of that, this time period was a time period around about 13, 14, where I got introduced into really disturbing stuff like pornography. This is when it was big, like grade 7 to grade 9. That topic was big, especially because that's around about the age where boys start wanting to have girlfriends and they start seeing girls in a different light. And I got introduced to porn through not just one friend, but like a group of friends, and then it got me hooked throughout my whole teen years, to be honest. And I knew it was bad, but I didn't know why it was bad. I knew it was bad because unlike gaming, I would game in front of everybody, but when I would watch this stuff, I'd be watching it in private and with earphones on, making sure that I don't get caught. So, something told me that it was bad, but again, because I don't have a relationship with God, I wasn't saved, I was still angry at God for certain things. I didn't know that it's bad because it's sinful. But back to the point, during this time period as well, I would try and get a girlfriend and I would always fail at that. So I felt really alone and rejected by the opposite gender because they didn't want me because of my height and also because, I was socially awkward. I had a couple of friends. I had a friend who was always a Christian since we were in primary school. And I had a friend who was also Christian, who became a Christian in grade 9. And then I also had a friend as well who was a youth leader at a church, at a local church, and invited me to one of the youths. And I went to go check it out. I was reluctant at first, but I went to go check it out, and it was pretty cool. And one of the pastors says, ask God into your heart so you can be saved. And, that's what I did the next night. And I started asking more about this whole praying thing and this whole Bible thing to my mom because I know that she was into praying and stuff. At first, she didn't really like this whole different churches thing because she going to another church and I was going to another church, so she didn't really like that. So, that also made like a barrier for me at that time to actually grow my relationship with God because I knew that she would be upset if I went to the church that I was going to locally instead of her church. So again, that made me go a distance away from God than what I could have been. But then again, I do truly believe that it was God's grace because what was going on in that church youth wasn't really godly. The children, they would go there to the youth and they'll go to rave as soon as the youth is finished. And I could have been born into that circle way earlier than what I needed to be born into it. And so it was a blessing in disguise, and I believe it was God's grace and His mercy upon my life. This time period I was heavy into gaming still. I was still doing sports. I was playing sports like hockey. I mean, I wasn't really the best hockey player. Wasn't the best football player, but I really enjoyed gymming. And I was still, this time period, 12 to 16, going 17, I was still struggling with trying to get a girlfriend again. I think that was God's grace because if I was a player back then and I was able to get girls, I would have caused way too much damage and to not just myself but to other people and made their salvation in jeopardy. And that is my testimony, the part 2 of it. So that's the rest of it. I was heavy into gaming, I got introduced into pornography, and I got hooked throughout the whole time period of my teen years, watching it literally, if not every night, like every third or fourth night. I was very shy, still very shy, horrible with girls, and towards the end of this video, as you can see, I was opening up more to God, but my relationship was more a praying relationship. I was still finding it difficult to read my Bible each day. I was reading a verse a day, but that was about it. And I was doing a devotion here and there, but that was about it. I wasn't really being hungry for the word. So that is part 2, the testimony. If you want to check out part 1, check out this video right here, and part 3 will be coming next week. Thanks for watching.